Hello and welcome to Anime Animosity, and we are over here on livechart.me to do a rundown retrospective. That didn't sound very good, but whatever. A seasonal rundown retrospective of spring 2019, and I'm telling you now, it was a pretty good season, as you can probably see by the first handful of shows on the screen. As you will have picked up with your eyes, we're on livechart.me. There might be a link in the description, but without further ado, let's get into looking at the shows that aired this season. So, first up we have Demon Slayer. Obviously, this is one of the biggest anime of the past couple years, probably the biggest shonen anime of recent memory. With the movie, it is confirmed to be a massive, massive property that's worth more money than I can hope to ever think of having. But Demon Slayer is pretty good. It is very good. But try and go into it with as little knowledge as possible. The less you know, the more you'll enjoy it. Because if you're expecting it to be this masterpiece from the beginning, you will be disappointed. That's just cut and dry. Demon Slayer, while good, isn't incredible the whole way through. Okay? This is how it is. But it's still good. Next up, we have Tatanayusha no Nariagari, or Rising of the Shield Hero. Another really, really good anime. Second season is set to come out spring next year, so 2022. That'll have been 3 years since the first season aired, and it's a pretty good show. I'm sure you've heard good things about Shield Hero. I'm sure you've heard about the quote-unquote plot twist in the first episode. And if you haven't, well then you've got a treat to look forward to when you check the show out, because you definitely should. Even among isekai, it is very, very good. It's a lot more serious, as you can probably gather it would be from the fact it's a seinen, not a shonen. But this is a very good show, with a good cast of characters, a nice world, and a very compelling story. I know that was just a bunch of buzzwords, but trust me when I say this, Shield Hero is one of the better isekai to have come out during this disgustingly oversaturated isekai boom that we seem to currently be in, and haven't been able to escape for the past few years. Now, I haven't watched One Punch Man, but I do know that the second season was somewhat underwhelming compared to the first. And that's all I have to add. Next, we have another incredibly big anime in Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2. This was probably the season that a lot of people would claim to be the best season of AOT. The second part of the third season, taking back Shingashina, it's honestly one of the best arcs. It really is a fantastic arc. It's animated brilliantly. Just everything about this arc is peak Attack on Titan. If you liked Attack on Titan, you'll have watched this anyway and it won't matter. But if you haven't somehow checked out Attack on Titan, Season 3 Part 2 honestly is worth it all. All that build-up is worth it for Season 3 Part 2 and somewhat Season 4. Albeit I'd say Season 3 Part 2 is probably the best AOT season there is in terms of pure hype value. But that is my opinion. Take that as you will. Next up we have Dorado. Now, this is the remake, not the original, of an anime that came out, I think, it came out pre-2000, but I don't know exactly when it came out. Was it It was early 1990s, I want to say. If not before then. In fact, I think it was black and white, so it might actually have been even earlier than that. But Dororo is really, really good. Just because it's based on an old manga and has an old, it's a remake of an old anime, do not let that dissuade you from watching the show. It's really good. Look, even Mappa got involved with this. Look at this. Mappa were involved. It's going to be good. Seriously, Dororo is really, really good. The openings as well, fire. On point. Really good music. I don't want to tell you anything more about Dororo. Just watch it. It's honestly worth checking out. Watch the first couple episodes, decide if you like it. You probably will. Give it a watch. So next up, we have We Never Learn, or Bokutachi wa Benkyou ga Dekinai. And this show I actually really quite like. I do quite like We Never Learn. Why I can't quite place it. It just is a really good harem. There's not a single bad girl in this show. And that's pretty impressive for what on the surface looks like a generic harem show, but with not a single bad girl in the cast, and that cast being all very bubbly and somewhat well developed. It's actually worth checking out. If you aren't the biggest fan of the harem rom-com genre, I actually think you might like We Never Learn, because it's really good in a genre that is pretty mid most of the time, as much as I like it, or used to at least. So give We Never Learn a shot, because it is actually, as I've said countless times, pretty good. Now we move on. Oh look, the first season of Fruits Basket, which I have already talked about, so we shall just move on to, who knows? Is there anything else I watched from this season? Ah yes, Konomoto Tamare. This show I think is seriously underrated. This is the first season. I've talked about the second season before, but the first season, just like the second, I think is seriously underrated. This show is fantastic. If you haven't watched this, what are you playing? If you like romance dramas, music, watch this show. Because Konomoto Tamare is amazing. It's about it's an anime about a club that specialize in a weird instrument, like a Japanese instrument. It's like a floor guitar, but not really. If you don't know anything about this show, look into it and give it a watch. Because I knew nothing before I went in. I didn't even know what a koto was, or a koto, however it's supposed to be pronounced, and I loved it. I loved this show. The music in this show is fan-fucking-tastic. Seriously, give Konomoto Tamare a watch. Seriously, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but I think this is one of the most underrated shows to have come out in 2019. But with what aired in the same year as it, it's no real surprise. So, next up, we have Zoku Owali Monogatari. Now, the Monogatari series is strange in a good way, and Zoku is very strange in a good way. If you didn't like the Monogatari series, or know nothing about it, well, if you know nothing about it, go start with Bakemonogatari. It's not hard to get into. Watch it in release order. But if you didn't like the Monogatari series, first of all, how have you gotten to Zoku? And second of all, you won't like Zoku. But I can't press enough how good the Monogatari series is. There are plenty of people on YouTube that will tell you that the Monogatari series is incredible and you should watch it. And they are all very, very correct. You should give the series, a watch. That doesn't just apply to Zoku, that applies to all of it. Obviously, Zoku, when you've watched everything else. But yeah, check out the Monogatari series. It's really good. And is there anything else that I have to talk about from this season? Let me have a gander. From what I can see, no, that is it. Ending off with a banger. We have we? Who is this we? I don't know. I'm the only one here. So yeah, that was spring of 2019, and it was a really, really good season. Like, really strong. 2019 is a really good year for anime. Probably, well, I don't want to say one of the best, but it's definitely up there with some of the better seasons of the 2010s. Probably, in fact, you know what? One of the best seasons of the 2010s. And with that, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, sub, hit the notification bell, do whatever the fuck you feel like. I've been Animosity, you've been you, and I'll get you all next time for another video. Ta-ta for now.